Hello students, welcome to the class. I am IK Tiwari. I am a professional in agriculture with experience in marketing, teaching and research. In continuation with the last class, today we will learn more about the documentation for certification procedure, and after going through this unit, you will be able to understand number A, the information required for inspection of specific operations, and number 2, chain of custody. Let's start. So like any other field, the organic agriculture also faces the threats like misrepresentation, deception and falsification of the facts. To overcome these threats and safeguard the organic integrity, organic inspectors are primary third-party guardians. It is their responsibility to deter and detect any use of prohibited material or inputs and misrepresentation of organic standards. The acumen to find out any misrepresentation is an essential trait the organic inspector is expected to have. Now, first of all, let us find out what are the common frauds that happen in organic production and processing. The most common instances of frauds can be categorized in following 7 classes. Number 1, mixed operations or parallel production by farmers, processors and traders. Number 2, products under conversion are sold as organic. Number 3, misuse of certificates. Number 4, repeated use of same certificate. Number 5, manipulation of input and output invoices. And number 6, incorrect receipt. And number 7, tampered documents, etc. To detect and raise an alarm on any of such frauds, the inspector has to be well versed in field of organic farming. He has to follow a standard procedure to get all the information from the operator and to know the veracity of the facts presented. He should have a checklist of information and documents required for the inspection, and he should compare the information provided by the operator with the ground realities at the time of inspection. So, to give you a perspective on this, we will go through a compilation of documents required and the purpose they serve in the whole process of certification. I will cover the topic of documentation for certification under 2 heads. Number 1, area of inspection, and number 2, point of inspection. Let's start with knowing the areas of inspection first. Well, like I told you in the last lectures, there are 4 areas of inspection, which are number 1, inspection of organic farm. The inspection of organic farm includes farm under cultivation, wild harvest, livestock operations and processing or handling operations. Farm inspection covers vegetables, grains, herbs, medicinal plants, tree fruits, coffee, tea, nuts, wine crops, forage crops, fiber crops and other agricultural crops. A farm inspection may also include other types of inspections such as livestock or on-farm processing. The second area of inspection is livestock inspection. When organic certification is sought for animal or animal products, systematic inspection is necessary. Types of livestock inspection include dairy, abattoir operations, poultry, bees and fish, etc. The third area of inspection is the inspection of wild harvests. Wild harvests have to be inspected if the collected produce is to be sold as organic. The fourth area of inspection is the inspection of processing or handling plant. This inspection is necessary whenever an organic product is being processed. The operations done in a processing and handling plant are mixing, baking, heating, separating, grinding, freezing, dyeing, packaging, canning, and preservations, etc. Now coming to the second head, which is point of inspection. Point of inspection means those aspects of organic farming which an inspector requires to investigate on. The success of inspection depends on the performance of the inspector, and there are specific steps for the inspector to follow during the organic inspection. The information required by the inspector can be categorized in 2 classes. One is general information and the other is specific information. General information is the information about the field and a little history of the farmer and the field, etc. Whereas the specific information is the information which is misrepresented most of the times, Therefore, the inspector needs to investigate and evaluate them thoroughly. The specific information is required on many aspects like parallel production, verification of crops, seed and seedlings, fertility management, audit control, crop rotation, etc. Let's start with the general information. So, the general information required for certification includes: number 1, does the producer have a copy of standards? Is the information contained on the application accurate? Does the farm map presents an accurate picture of the farm? Were field histories verified to be accurate? Are all fields located on the same farm unit? Were all the fields or the buildings inspected? Are all fields located on the same farm unit? Are all crops or products stored or handled at another location? Was the operator present for the entire inspection? Has the operation ever been certified by another certifying agency? Has the operation ever been denied certification? Then other informations like list of crops, field number, projected yield, and acreage of each crop required for the certification. Then total area farmed including both organic and non-organic farming. Then acreage of organic farming. Then number of years in organic farming. Number of the farm was certified or denied certification. Then number of years for which the same land is being farmed by the same operator. This was all about the required general information. Now, coming to the specific information required for certification, a lot of information is required on which a thorough investigation is necessary to maintain the organic integrity. Like I said, the information which is most likely to be misrepresented needs higher attention of the inspector. Every information provided by the operator should be backed by relevant and valid documentary proofs. I will take you through these points of inspection one by one. Let's take the first point of inspection, which is parallel production. Parallel production means production of crops other than the organic crop in the same farm. So, the information needed on the parallel production is: number 1, is all production on the farm unit organic? If no, are organic and non-organic crops visually distinguishable? Number 2, are separate equipments being used to produce organic and non-organic crops? Number 3, is there separate storage for organic and non-organic crops? Number 4, does the applicant have the management ability to track the organic and non-organic crops? The second point of inspection is verification of crops. The information needed here is: were all the crops requested for the certification? And did all the crops show the absence of prohibited input use? Similarly, the other point of inspection is the sourcing and quality of seeds and seedlings, and requires information on: were all the seeds from organic sources? If not, did the operator attempt to obtain organic seed from any reliable source? Are there documents to prove such attempts by the operator? Number 2, were all the seeds untreated? If not, did the operator attempt to obtain untreated seeds from any reliable source? Are there documents to prove such attempts? Number 3, were all seeds non-genetically modified? If not, did the operator attempt to obtain non-genetically modified seeds from any reliable source? Are there documents to prove such attempts? And number 4, were all the seedlings organically grown? Were seedlings obtained from a certified organic greenhouse? Were the pertaining valid organic certificates available with the operator? Number 5, was an on-site greenhouse or facility used for seedling nursery purpose? If yes, then was the facility used only for organic production? Were the approved inputs used for the soil mix? Were approved inputs used for pest management? Were approved inputs used for disease management? The other important point of inspection is fertility management. The information required here is: does condition of crop indicate use of approved fertility inputs? Number 2, was there evidence of an approved fertility management system? Does the operation rely on nutrient cycling? Number 3, is animal manure used by the operation? If yes, is all animal manure fully composted? Are all compost ingredients allowed by organic standards? Number 4. Was animal manure applied when the soil was warm and biologically active? Number 5. Was all animal manure obtained from on-farm sources? If no, describe source, contamination potential, residue tests, etc. Number 6. Was manure or compost managed to prevent environmental degradation? Number 7. Was manure or compost managed to prevent the spread of pathogens? Number 8. Was the use of restricted inputs agronomically justified? And number 9. Did the operator have a plan to discontinue the use of restricted fertility inputs? Number 10. Were the approved foliar fertilizers used? Number 11. Were the results of recent soil tests compiled in a file? Number 12. Did physical examination of the soil reveal good tilth, evidence of biological activity, adequate organic matter, and a sweet earthy smell? So, after this, the next important point of inspection is crop rotation, and the information required in this case is there a soil building crop rotation program in place? Did the inspector review of fields history verify existence of a soil building crop rotation? Number 2. Does the crop rotation include a diversity of species? The next inspection point is the weed management, and the information required in case of weed management is: are weed management strategies in compliance with the standards? Are weed prevention strategies implemented at all? Does all evidence indicate use of approved weed management strategies and inputs? Is there adequate equipment or labor to perform non-chemical weed control? Are there diverse species of weeds in non-crop areas? Are crops requested for certification relatively free of weed pressure? The next such inspection point is pest management. And the information required in case of pest management is: are pest management strategies in compliance? Are pest management strategies implementable? Does all the evidence indicate use of approved pest management strategies and inputs? Does the operator have a plan to discontinue the use of restricted disease control inputs? Are crops requested for certification relatively free of disease pressure? So, in the continuation, the next inspection point is risk management, and the information required here is: are fields well isolated from the potential source of contamination? Are adjoining roadside free of herbicide application? Are boards with organic farm do not spray signs posted? Does the operator have signed agreements or notification letters with the neighboring operations? Are buffer zones maintained in the application area? Are buffer zones planted with different crops from those requested for the certification? If no, describe operator's plan for deposition of buffer harvests. Then, are records of buffer harvests, storage, sales, or other uses maintained? Similarly, the next inspection point is water management. The relevant information required here is: does water come in direct contact with organic products? If yes, describe water source. Has a test for nitrates and coliform bacteria in water been done recently? If yes, what is the report? Does the water meet potable water standards? Is water used for irrigation purposes? If yes, is water free of inputs applied through the irrigation system? Is water free of known contaminants which may affect water quality? Are moisture monitoring, water conservation, or salinization prevention strategies implemented? Similarly, the next inspection point is stewardship. Stewardship means the job of taking care or supervising something. So, the relevant information required in case of stewardship is: are erosion control strategies implemented? Does evidence indicate the absence of erosion? Are strategies to provide wildlife habitat implemented? Is there evidence of biological diversity? Are land cleaning activities in compliance? The next inspection point is equipment, and the relevant information required in case of equipment is spray equipment used only for approved inputs? If no, describe cleaning procedure. Are cleaning procedure documented? Is planning equipment used only for approved input? If no, describe cleaning procedures. Are cleaning procedures documented? Is the harvest equipment used only for organic crops? If no, describe cleaning procedure prior to organic harvest. Are cleaning procedures documented? Then, is equipment well maintained and free of contaminants which may impact organic crops or fields? The next inspection point is harvesting, and the information required in case of harvesting is: does the operator harvest all crops? If no, give names of custom operator and describe procedures to protect organic integrity. Is operator's harvest equipment used only to harvest organic crops? The next inspection point is post-harvest handling. The relevant information required here is there any on-farm processing of organic products? If yes, complete and submit process inspection report. Are all the areas where organic crops are stored, handled or processed free of prohibited materials? Are all pieces of equipment and facilities used to handle organic crop owned or controlled by the applicant? Are all transport units cleaned prior to loading with organic crops? Is there a documentation to verify cleaning of transport unit? The next inspection point is storage, and the relevant information in case of storage is: are storage units used only for organic crops? The storage units in adequate condition? Are storage units free of prohibited material? Are measures taken to prevent insects, rodents and birds from gaining access to the storage units? Are measures in compliance with the organic standards? Are storage units physically numbered? Is there sufficient storage to handle projected organic yield? Is all storage space located on the organic farm? If no, provide details of such units including ownership and location. And was off-farm storage inspected during the site visit? The next inspection point is audit control or the record keeping system. The relevant information required in this case is: are field maps clear and accurate? Do field maps show field numbers? Do field maps show adjoining land uses and buffers? Are field history sheets complete and accurate? Are receipts of purchase inputs and services on file? Are any production logs or activity records maintained? Are harvest records maintained? Are storage records maintained? Were sales records complete and accessible? Is a lot numbering system is in place? If yes, give examples and describe the lot code. Are bills of loading issued when products are shipped? Are transaction certificates or organic certificates used in accordance to the procedure of the certification agency? Are yields and sales consistent with the acreage and the production? Do farm records track products back to their fields of production? The next inspection point is the overall management. The information required here is: did the applicant demonstrate a comprehensive understanding of the organic standards? Did the applicant demonstrate a commitment to follow standards? Did evidence indicate that the operation is well maintained? With this, the point of inspection part is over. I tried to compile as much information as possible, but still I would suggest you to go through the manuals and other literatures available on the topic. The next concept we will discuss is chain of custody. So what is the chain of custody? The chain of custody means all relevant steps in the production chain such as growing, cultivation, harvesting, processing, handling, storage and other related processes or activities. And at every step there is a custodian. So the first custodian is the farmer or the producer. The second custodian is the processor. And the third custodian is the wholesaler or the commission agent, right? To get the chain of custody certification, all these steps should be inspected and certified. It is the responsibility of the applicant, like trader or wholesaler or retailer or the processor, to provide objective evidence of a complete and unbroken chain of custody for organic products from the production unit till the sales point. With this, our today's session ends. I hope you all learned it well. Thanks for your patience. I will see you in the next class. Bye for now.